Yo, what is up, everybody? Your boy E-Man from the Average Joe Sports Network coming at you with another edition NFL season unscripted sportscast. Let's get busy right now. Week one was fully upon us. Hold on a second. I think I'm having a little bit of problems with the with my feed on X. What is going on here? Let me just go ahead and before we keep going. I got to check, man. That's when I get most of my views. And for some reason, I'm seeing that is not displaying. There, here we go. We are back. We're good to go. My bad. So let me just go ahead. All right, here we go. We are live. X is clicking. Got it. Sorry about the delay. Your boy E-Man again from the Average Joe Sports Network coming at you on Scripted Sportscast, NFL edition. Every Monday during the NFL season, your boy's going to be coming at you, giving you the recap, bring you some early bets, best early bets of the week, of course, during this NFL season. Trying to keep it consistent, every Monday. It's a little difficult, but, I'm going to try to get it done. So, with that being said, football season, and you say, yo, E-Man, why are you wearing your Knicks hat? I'm going to tell you why. Because the freaking Giants suck. Another week one opener. Another week one embarrassment as a New York Giants. This is the third season in a row. My Giants have laid a freaking egg on the freaking field. All right. The Giants are the first team to not secure a touchdown in the three straight season openers. Last team to accomplish this great feat were the Lions, 1940 to 1942. Bro, it hasn't been done since World War II. And the Giants, who are a storied franchise, 5 Super Bowls, I think. I think we're on the way up to 4. And we cannot lay a freaking touchdown in the past 3 seasons to open the damn season. That sucks. That truly sucks. But this is how we got to get started. Because what I'm going to segue into this, right? New quarterbacks, right? Because we got 3 brand new quarterbacks. Russell starting. Famous Jameis, now the third string quarterback, third in the depth chart, and now rookie Jackson. I'm gonna hit you in the eye with a dart as the backup. And this is just plain embarrassing. It was so embarrassing. Come on, look at this. 21-6. Wasted a complete decent effort by the defense. That's the part that's upsetting. We have so much improved front line this season, and we just that all went to waste. Russell Wilson, 17 for 37, 168 yards. This wasn't Russell Wilson. This was Giants Daniel Jones. The same Daniel Jones have opened for the Giants the last 2 seasons and had the same performance. Danny's gone, record-breaking now in other pastures. And we'll hit that after this one. Russell Wilson slinged it 37 freaking times, connected 17 passes, no touchdowns. He did lead the team in rushing with 44 yards. We had no choice. Couldn't get the damn ball to anybody else. Tracy, the rushing game was a non-existent. Shout out to Cam Scatterboo, -3 yards. However, the man was blocking like a mofo. Blocking like crazy, bro. Taking blocks. Malik Neighbors, 12 targets, could only get 5 of those catches. Insane. I got him in my damn fantasy league. Wandale Robinson, 8 for 6 catches. Scatterbo had himself 2 catches with 12 yards. It is just completely shit show. Russell Wilson with a fumble. It is what it is. The Commanders just did what they were supposed to do. Jalen had a modest game. Not that great. 19 for 30, 233. Had another 68 yards on the ground. Great PPR day. Bill, Ja'Cory Crocky Merritt, who was fourth in the depth chart, comes in and has 82 rushing yards with a touchdown. Debo had a rushing touchdown. Debo had 7 catches, 77 yards. That's all they needed. This team looks really good. Looks really good because let me tell you something. I know you're saying the Giants, whatever the case may be, but the Giants really have a decent front line when it comes, in the defensive side. You know what I mean? They come to play. I mean, those guys were rushing. They got to Jaden a couple of times. And you can really not wish any better. It's just the fact that the offense could have moved the ball. So it's horrible. It's freaking horrible. This team, man, it's just going to be the death of me. That's why I'm wearing a Knicks hat, because that's the only success we have right now. Apart from the Yankees, who are trying to make it. All right? They're trying to make it. But the Giants suck. And so did Russell Wilson. Oh, let me check chats out, bro. Bring back Danny Piss Missile Jones. Danny Pennies is more like Danny Dollars last week, Jim. Shout out to my boy Jim Fat in the Van, baby. Check out his latest and greatest. He's my other half of Cigars and Sport. The other half of Cigars and Sports, the Realist Sports podcast. But check out his Fan in the Van podcast. He dropped a surprise one. Lots of Steeler content. And I'm, of course, going to be hitting the Steeler game. No doubt about it. But Daniel Jones, for that reason, not Daniel Jones, I'm sorry. Daniel Jones have held this title plenty times. But my friend, the Giants and Russell Wilson are this week's loser of the freaking week. I've given this award for the first week for the past 3 seasons, not on purpose. Not on purpose. They've earned it to the New York freaking Giants and somebody in the team. Jeez. With that same token, Daniel freaking Jones has a new team. Daniel Jones has a new home. And it looks like Daniel Jones has a new career as an actual decent quarterback. Yo, this is nuts. The fact that Daniel Jones, we put Danny Dimes in the same sentence with record-breaking, that tells you everything you need to know about the damn Giants. And right now, my internet is not cooperating. The page is not responding, damn it. Wait. Boys. Let's let me talk through this while I freaking come back to this. But the Colts make a huge statement in Miami, shutting down Tua Tagovailoa, who had himself one of the worst games I've ever seen Tua have. Probably one of the worst season openers for the team in recent history. Damn it. So NFL Network is not responding. It's going to be a hard time. So I'm going to go ahead and give somebody else. Let me go back to see if I can pick up ESPN. I hate using ESPN because they have like commercials and shit. Give me 1 second, boys and girls. Let me get some decent. Let's go to Danny Dimes' world here. 33-8. Tua Tagovailoa threw 2 picks. All right, Zach even had a showing. Zach, the MILF Slayer, went into the game briefly. But Danny Dimes was the story of the game. 22 for 29, 272 yards, threw for a touchdown, ran for 2, 26 on the ground. First Colts ever to have a score on every offensive possession. Daniel Jones will fool Peyton Manning on his Colts debut, boys and girls, and then some. Ridiculous. Jonathan Taylor, modest game. They had DJ Giddens running the football. Pittman had 80 yards. Tyler Warren, the rookie, impressive. 76. I'm telling you, if y'all saw my podcast during during the offseason. If you saw my videos, my shorts about all the fantasy content, I was big on Tyler Warren all offseason long. Nothing for the Fins. I have Tyreek Hill in my fantasy league, and I beg you, Dolphins, trade him back to Kansas City for my team's sake. 33-8, Daniel Jones looked like a freaking stud. All right? He only pulled the stud move once before. That was against the Vikings in the playoffs, and guess what? That's what got him signed. Oh, my gosh. If you ever told me I was going to say the word stud and Daniel Jones in the same sentence, no, I didn't have that in my bingo card, boys and girls. I didn't have that in my bingo cards starting in my 2025 NFL season bingo card. Jeez. Daniel Jones, dude. What a chooch. But yet, he is. I am not going to give him the stud of the week because it was bigger performance. You know what I mean? And, of course, my man Jim, if you're watching, this was one of the best games. Apart from the Ravens game, this was one of the best games in the entire slate yesterday, man. The Pittsburgh Steelers and the New York Jets. And, of course, man, A-Raj, douche, Aaron the douche Rodgers is back. Revenge game against the Jets. Man, it was a barn burner. Back and forth. Last possession. Man, Aaron Rodgers, look, 40-something years old, 22 for 30, 244, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. After yesterday's game, Aaron Rodgers is tied for the most 4 TD games in the NFL history. He proved it. He went in there and took care of business. Look, Jim, if you're still watching, I'm going to tell you right now, brother, like you said, it is probably the best a Steelers quarterback has looked fluidity-wise. Control of the game, pace, not just statistical, but also how he commanded the game and was able to achieve a Ben Roethlisberger, Big Ben-like type comeback. We haven't seen something like this in a Steelers uniform in a very long time. You know what I'm saying? Let me share my screen, boys and girls. Let me see here. There you go. Let me get that. I forgot that I'm using ESPN now, so exactly that. I mean, he had a huge game. Shout out to Jalen. I mean, the running game wasn't great. I'm shocked that Caleb Johnson was only there for like a snap. Not a fan of that. Or like only got one carry. Don't tell me that Kenneth Gainwell is better than Caleb Johnson. If not, what the hell did you draft that kid for? If this offense is going to be successful, and I know Aaron hates young running backs, rookies, but this dude needs to be there and getting the ball at a percentage of a Najee Harris, right? Because he's a big dude. But DK, 83 yards, 4 receptions, had a nasty-ass catch that they bobbled around. But Calvin Stone Cold Austin, I stole that from Jim. Give me a hell yeah. Give me a hell yeah, baby, because he had himself a hell yeah performance. All right, 70 receiving yards and a touchdown. Benzo with the Lenzo, Skoranek. 1 catch, 22 yards, and had a touchdown. Jalen Warren had himself a receiving touchdown as well. It was they struggled running the football. However, the play action, all right, Jonnu Smith with a tutty. They could have used him in the Dolphins yesterday. But he spread the ball around. There was 22 receptions altogether here. He spreaded that pill around. And experience fell through. Justin Fields, let me tell you something. Don't need to put your head down, baby. All right, because he had himself a game. 16 for 22, 218 yards, and a touchdown. Ran for another 48 yards and 2 more touchdowns on the ground. I was one of those guys last season when he was starting. I said, man, this dude has earned a shot. Yeah, look, I'm going to focus on the offense because it's a good thing. You're right. The defense did blow balls. I haven't gotten to there yet, which you're going to need the defense. This team is going to need the defense to not do this kind of shit if they're going to seriously compete in this division. Because you got right now, the Pittsburgh Steelers got a gift right? And last night's loss with the Ravens. But yeah, Justin Fields, I said it last year. He deserves to start, right? Even before Russell came in. And right now, I was one of those people that didn't think Justin Fields would be a long-term quarterback in this league. And after last season, and then watching Caleb Williams struggle with the Bears, I apologize. I said I was wrong. Because this dude now has proven to me, a la Lamar Jackson, that he could be a starting quarterback for a long time in this league. Every season, he has improved his completion percentage. And I think yesterday, it was the best version of Justin Fields yet. Composed, able to make them reads, be decisive with his reads and his moves, whether he was, he threw a rope to Garrett Wilson. That was insane. Whether he was tossing the football, whether he was passing the football, or, taking the runs or scoring. Whatever Justin Field did yesterday was with determination. And shout out to Aaron Glenn. This team is going to be really difficult, all right, to mess with. Breece Hall, 107 yards. All right, Justin with 48. This is all rushing yards. Garrett Wilson, 95 yards. The Ohio State connection. Breece Hall, another 2 catches, 38 yards. They got a little more help. You got Mason Taylor, Jonathan Taylor's baby boy. I think this team is going to surprise some people. The Jets will. And Russell and Justin Fields, I'm sorry. And fuck Russell Wilson. And Justin Fields has arrived and deserves a seat at the table as a starting quarterback in this league. All right, I'm going to back that up, and I apologize for criticizing him so much the first 3 or 4 seasons. But you're right. Like my man Jim says, the defense cannot. This is a really expensive defense. They cannot go as soft as they did in the home openers. But they're 1-0. It is what it is. They are 1-0. All right, let's see what's next. Let me start the lineup here, man. And let's go back here. Arizona Cardinals, baby. The Cardinals earned themselves a win against a real bad team. It was a close game. They did what they were supposed to do, win 20-13. Not impressed because the Saints are real shitty. I mean, Spencer Rattler did everything he could, but man, 27 for 46, 214 yards. Alvin Kamara is going to be the sole possession, the sole offensive weapon of this team. Chris Olave, I think, ended up leaving the game shortly for some time. I don't know. This guy's injured more than he is playing. There's really not much to say, but a valiant effort by the Saints. This is the closest game of the season the Saints are probably going to have. Kyler Murray, 21 for 29. Look at that. 2 touchdowns. Not a lot of yards via passing, but they had a decent night on the ground. Benson led that team with 69 rushing yards. This dude eventually may become the RB1. James Conner, 39. Marvin Harrison Jr., modest 71 yards with a touchdown and 5 receptions. McBride, 61. Didn't find the end zone again. But the dude is just a monster when it comes to catching the football and generating yards. So, hey, James Conner had himself a reception with a touchdown. So, look, not impressed by the Cardinals. They should have slapped this team by at least, should have won 30-13 instead of 20-13. But you know what? Beggars can be choosers. 1-0. Another team that's 1-0. And what about Geno Smith, man? Geno Smith looking strong, man. Had himself a nice debut. I picked the Patriots in this matchup. You know what I'm saying? I picked them in this matchup. And Geno had himself a monster game. 362 yards. Did throw a pick, but had a touchdown. Ashton Jendi found the end zone. The rookie, the first round rookie, baby, 19 for 38. Not great on the ground, but did find the end zone. That's all you need. Brack Bowers, man, this dude just does it in all many different ways. 103 yards receiving. This is a good, for Brack Bauer and Jacoby Myers, this is a really, really good quarterback to have because he's going to just sling the shit out of this pill. Trey Tucker, Deontay Thornton, that's somebody you want to watch out for. But overall, man, 20-13, I thought the Patriots could have done better. Drake made 30 for 46, did throw that pick, almost had a comeback win. But they struggle rushing the football, and that's a big identity of the New England Patriots. Trayvon Henderson was the leading rusher, not saying much because they only attempted 18 attempts rushing the football. They could do better than that. They could absolutely do better than that, and that's going to change probably Mark Bravel is a guy that he likes to run the football. He may not have a Derrick Henry, but I guarantee you he's going to definitely run the football more in the next game. Drake may look good, except for that stupid INT, but he looked really decent. And, Stephon Diggs had himself 6 receptions. I know it's been a while because he was hurt, but he looked good. And we see Kaysen Boutte, 6 reception, 103 yards. The only pass was caught by Demario Douglas, who had negative receiving yards in the day. But Trayvon Henderson had also 6 receptions. I'm telling you, the Patriots, the Jets, much improved. Even though it was a loss, they're trending in the right directions. Both teams have lost, and the Jets and the Patriots are trending in the right directions, except for the Dolphins. That's a different direction. You know what I mean? Let's see what else we got popping here, baby. And what about the Bengals, bro? Talk about I am like barely surviving. I am barely surviving this game. The Bengals have opened. It's strange. They look good like anything else. But the Bengals opened the season again, almost losing a game. The thing is that this time they did win. The last couple of seasons, they've opened the season to losses. Last year was just a complete downward spiral for the Bengals. But 17-16, a real crappy Steelers team. I know they have a decent defense. But Joe Flacco, the ageless wonders, man. 290 yards. He did throw for 2 picks. But that's the identity, man. He just got to throw it out there. He's a gunslinger. He still got a touchdown, kept the team in the game. The team really struggled rushing the football. However, Judkins was signed, and he'll be back. Boy's not guilty. He ain't getting locked up. He's about to run all over the place, baby. As for the Cincinnati game, I'm 14 for 23, 113 yards for Joey Buckets. He starts out slow, man. Just like last year and the year before. I'm shocked that Chase Brown had 21 carries, but unlike last year, he did find the end zone. But a 2 yards per carry, it's not a Chase Brown kind of day. There was a lot of things going on. I don't know. Maybe it's that defense. The Browns usually play the Bengals well defensively. And it's also a sign of that really bad offensive line, man. Joe Burrow took a hit yesterday that you were like, shit, man. That could have been like a 4-week layoff for Joe Burrow. He got popped. Not once, but a few times. But one was really, really bad. That's what Chase Brown is only able to muster 2 yards per carry. They got to get Chase Brown involved more in the passing game because remember, Chase Brown can catch a football. They got to do better, though. I think the softer defense. I got Chase Brown in my fantasy league. That's why I'm pissed off. But again, barely sneak one. The only difference is instead of usually losing game 1 of the season, they actually went ahead and ended up winning. So, oh, man. Let's go to the next game here, man. Let's go. Last night. This is one of the best games. This was one of the best games of the slate last night. I mean, yesterday afternoon. All right. And it went down to the wire. All right. The Bucs against the Falcons. The Falcons, four-time division winner. And this thing came all the way down to the wire. It came down to a field goal. All right. Young Ho Koo. Young Wei. Call him Young Ho. Young Ho usually doesn't miss from 44 yards like this.
Koo from 44. It is wide to the right. No good.
I'm good, dude. That's right. Young Ho missed that. Shanked it all the way to the right. Baker, 3 touchdowns, unbelievable 2-minute drive. That's what he does. But the story of the game is Emeka Mbuka. That dude is nice. He nice. 2 touchdowns, young rookie, big dog. Can run, can catch. Oh boy, that dude is nasty. I mean, who needs Godwin? That's what Mike Evans, 5 receptions. Who needs Godwin, dog? Right? Who needs Godwin? When you got Mbuka. Egbuka, baby. Sounds like Sambuca. But that boy was smooth last night, man. 2 touchdowns. He's a big dog, big dude, great hands, fast. Baker picking up what he left off last season. 3 freaking touchdowns. Shout out to Michael Penix. Michael Penix Jr., 298 and a touchdown. Definitely saw he come out. He looked a lot better than he did last year. Michael Penix Jr. looked a lot better than he did last season. You know what I mean? He looks a lot better than did last season. The way he just he ended the season. I like it. I like what Michael Penix did yesterday. Michael the Penix Penix. Tyler Algier and Bijan and Tyler had almost about the same snap counts, just a difference of 2 carries. But that was the problem. Atlanta could not rush the football. Penix found the end zone himself with the rushing touchdown. So he had a really good game. I mean, I don't blame Penix for this. Penix did everything he needed to do. But Bijan did not do it on the ground, but did it in the air. 6 receptions and 100 yards. Kyle Pitts, 7 receptions, 59 yards. Drizzy Drake, London, 8 catches, targeted 15 times for 55 yards. Out for a couple of weeks. Injured himself. Out for a couple of weeks. That sucks. That's going to set them back. It's not good for but it was a clutch performance. Baker, man. Baker is it. Baker is now him. Right? Baker is now him. Another game-winning drive. I mean, Mbuka is just nasty. He led Tampa in the receiving yards. It is great. Baker is him. This is his team. There's nothing you can say about Baker anymore. He has changed everybody's perception. Everybody's perception about this crap. So, all right, let's talk here about the Rams. The Rams and what happened here? What the hell happened here? Rams against the Houston Texans. Wow. Crappy game. CJ Stroud struggles. I don't know, man. I love this dude, but I don't know what's going on. Sophomore season is carrying over, at least in 1 game, and to the 3rd season of his career. But it was just the Rams defense had him bottled up. Nick Chubb had a decent game at 60 yards, even though that Mixon is out indefinitely. But couldn't get anything going. Nico Collins was nowhere to be found. Jaden Higgins, like that rookie, impressive. But it was nothing. They couldn't get anything going. The Rams, on the other hand, Matthew Stafford just doing things right now, dude. This is the best team it's had since the championship game year. And Matthew Stafford in this game, it was a close, tight victory. But Matthew, during the game, ties Matt Ryan as the 2nd fastest player to reach 60,000 career yards, passing yards. And he has a chip. So, Hall of Fame bound for Zizzy. Matthew Stafford, 245, 1 touchdown, 21 for 29. Kyron Williams, monster game again, 66 rushing yards, a touchdown. I mean, Puka Nacua, 10 catches, 11 targets, 130. He even got hit in the head so hard that he was bloody. They popped him, bro. They knocked him out. He came back in and did his thing. Devontae Adams, he's huge. He's going to be huge this season. 4 receptions, 51 yards. He's going to be huge this season. Very defensive matchup. Houston has a really good defense, and so is the Rams. So it was a game of whose will was going to be imposed and whose will was going to be broken. And it was the Rams' will impose and broke the will of the Houston Texans. So they had themselves a really nice game. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a total of 66 tackles. How many sacks did they have in this game? I mean, they hit the quarterback 7 times. I gotta get a better sight with the sacks here. I mean, 3 sacks. Yep, 3 total sacks for the Rams and 3 also. I mean, it was a battle of wills, but the Rams' will was a lot stronger. It's the winner, whoever can impose themselves. Let's get back, baby. And another nice game here. Another close game. You know what I'm saying? Was the 49ers and the Seahawks, 17-13. It was last minute catch by the backup tight end, Jake Tonks, who hadn't had a single reception entering this game for his career. and makes 3 clutch catches, including the game-winning touchdown. Who technically man beast that from the DB's hand. So it was nice to see Christian McCaffrey back, man. Look, McCaffrey had another Christian McCaffrey all around high usage, high productive game, right? He touched the ball 31 freaking times, a total of 142 total yards. All right, what do I mean by that? He had 22 carries, 69 yards. Then we go to the receiving side, and Christian McCaffrey had 9 receptions, 73 yards. At times, that offensive line was very, very weak. They lost Kittle, who caught the opening touchdown. We saw the difference of the game as soon as Kittle went out. Oh, man. Kittle, who's their core, their big dog, their captain, went out. He's going to be out for a few weeks. And then you saw kind of the offense slow down a little bit after starting hot. So, but Brock had himself 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. One of them was kind of like a really bad throw. He has to do better. On a bright note, Ricky Pearsall was nasty. 4 receptions, 108 yards. This dude's going to be the man this year for the 49ers. I think it's going to take a few games for Robert Saleh to anchor this defense. The Seahawks had a really good defense as well. And look, shout out to the 49ers. They pulled it off. When you look at the numbers, offensively, the 49ers numbers were very superior. You know what I'm saying? When you come back, when you come to at the end of the day, oh man, I wish I had the complete numbers here. But when you look at their numbers, team stats wise, the 49ers pretty much outdid everything. 24-14 first downs, 15 passing first downs to 6. I mean, they outranked them. They outbeat them on everything. 384 total yards, over 230. Everything they did resembled the 49ers had the best game, and they did. But it was only a 4-point victory, which, by the way, I picked a spread on this one. As for Sam Darnold, reality sinks in, man. You're not playing for Kevin O'Connell anymore, and you don't have Justin Jefferson out there, and Addison, and even Hawkinson. It showed 16 for 23. I think he was very conservative. I don't know if the play calling was that way. Running the football was Shaq Charbonnet leading the way. JSN, Jackson Smith Nigma, 124 receiving yards, picking up where he left off. That's it. Cooper Kupp, you're not going to see Cooper Kupp to be the same type of player he was before. But the San Francisco 49ers, in a division that is up for grabs for anybody, still a win. And they deserved to win. They did. They blew out the numbers. You know what I'm saying? So, and talking about a deserving win, man, woof. Let me tell you something. I hope this is only like a 1-game thing, right? I hope that the lack of offense here for the Lions is a 1-game thing, and maybe it's coincidence. However, we shall see tonight when Ben Johnson takes the field and his head coaching debut with the Bears. But last night, Jared Goff and that offense looked anemic against the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers defense was pretty good before Micah Parsons. Now they're pretty great. But for a team that's been putting up numbers and blowing people out the water offensively, that was just an anemic performance. And we always said that Dan Campbell is a great motivator, great coach, great players coach. People like to play for. I know him. He was interim coach here for Miami for a while. But we're always said that he has some really good support. And, it's nothing bad but being a coach that has a good support system, right? With a good offensive coordinator and that's the whole point of being a good head coach, right? Being able to spot talent. But whoa, it showed yesterday. That defense could not do jack against the Packers. Love, 16 for 22. Didn't have to do much. 2 touchdowns. Jacobs, 66 rushing yards, a touchdown. They just pick the Detroit Lions defense apart, and the Lions cannot get anything going. Jahmyr Gibbs, 19 rushing yards. had 10 receptions for 31 yards. That tells you the kind of game that they had going on. It was dink and dunk, could not get the ball downfield. Amon St. Brown with 45 yards. Laporta was I'm telling you, they could not get anything downfield. It did not look like the Ben Johnson offense that this team is accustomed to have and display. High aerial assault, right? Quick passes, running the football, right? Switching in Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. It did not look great. Again, maybe it's coincidence. Maybe it's a one-game thing. But if this is the kind of Lions we're going to see again, then maybe it was all Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn for this team. I don't know. We shall see. Micah Parsons debuted with a sack. Micah Parsons had a decent game, and they had him on a snap count. So, hey, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens, man. Shout out to Micah Parsons. He's 1-0 with his new team. Oh, by the way, Josh Jacobs has scored a touchdown in 9 straight games. Crazy. Who am I missing? Who am I freaking missing here, man? I know I'm missing a shitty matchup here. Let me see here. I know I'm missing the Sunday night game, but I'm not going to go to there yet. Here we go. Denver Broncos 20-12. Not going to spend too much time on this because it was like watching paint dry at one point. Cortland Sutton is just nasty. Let's just leave it at that. All right. Nix didn't look sharp. He threw 2 picks. But Cortland Sutton, 61 yards receiving, 1 touchdown. I do look good. Like him. Evan Ingram banged up, but I like him. RJ Harvey looked really, really good. 70 rushing yards. J.K. Dobbins, touchdown. 16 carries, 63 yards. If they could do this on the ground weekly, this is going to be a tough matchup for any other team for the Broncos. So, on the other hand, for the Titans, I don't know. Look, I'm a big Cam Ward fan. I'm a UM guy, right? Love Cam Ward. And it's a disservice that they're doing for this kid. To this kid, man. Last night, they looked all fucked up. It was like the coaching staff were just not sure what plays they were running. Cam Ward, had himself a game, just you couldn't see what he's made of, right? And then he made some throws. You were like, wow, that's good. I see the glimpses. But he is drafted in a position with no offensive line. I think really bad coaching that has not adopted to Cam Ward's skill sets. See, that's the difference. When Jaden Daniel got drafted, we knew he had gifts. But Cliff Berry is that type of quarterback, that type of offensive coordinator that knows how to adapt a quarterback skill set to an offense. I don't think Tennessee has that. And I just hope they don't waste Cam Ward's talent because it'll be a complete disservice to an individual who I saw play in Miami who has all the tools to be an NFL starting quarterback and a real productive quarterback. All right. But, man, this Tennessee Titans just suck. Just suck. Ridley with 27 receiving yards. That was your leading receiver. Ridiculous. Denver should have won this game, but it was a lot closer than it should have been. Not touching the Jacksonville Jags. I mean, look, yeah, let's go briefly go to the Jacksonville Jags here. Like I said, I didn't want to touch them, but let's go anyway. Let's go anyway. Trevor Lawrence, 178 yards and a pick and a touchdown. Travis Etienne. I remember what I was telling you folks. Draft Travis Etienne. He's a sleeper. He's going to have a big year. 16 carries, 143 yards. He's going to have a big year. I'm telling you. So is Tank Bixby. Bryce Young back to old Bryce Young self. 2 picks. Chuba had a garbage touchdown then at the end. The rookie, Tatoria McMillan. Shout out to Tatoria McMillan. 5 yards, 5 receptions, 68 yards. Hopefully should. This team should play a little better as Tatoria McMillan develops. I think he's a talented wide receiver, and he saw it yesterday with a real bad quarterback. As for the Heisman Trophy winner, Travis Hunter, 6 receptions, 33 yards. I think he played 1 snap at defense, but he looked okay. But you know who looked even better? Brenton Strange. I told you, another sleeper tight end. This dude had 59 yards, 4 catches. Watch out. This dude's going to be nasty. That's all I got to say about this game. But this game was boring. It was like watching paint dry. Yeah, baby. I pretty much got all the day games. Let's go to the freaking game of the week. Probably the game of the year. And it happened. And it freaking happened the first day of the NFL season. All right? The first day of the NFL season. That's insane. Boys and girls. 3rd and 10. Baltimore 18. 40-25. With 4 minutes and 48 seconds remaining. At that point, I went to bed. I needed to go to work. I was tired. But there was a 99.1% chance of the Ravens sealing and winning this game. 99.1% chance that the Ravens were going to take this shit and not look back and ride out into the sunset at Buffalo. That wasn't the case. That wasn't the case. Josh Allen got so busy. All right. And those, 4 minutes left. Josh Allen, when 16 for 21, 269 yards, 3 touchdowns. In those 4 minutes and 48 seconds, down by 15. First player in this century to throw for 250 plus yards in the fourth quarter for a win. Josh Allen is a man possessed. He's a fucking beast. An animal. All right. And he was so good that he overshadowed the greatness of Lamar Jackson opposite of him, who had an unbelievable game. Lamar threw for 2 touchdowns, 14 for 19. All right. 94 QBR for Lamar Jackson. 2 for 3 touchdowns. Rushed for 70 yards himself and scored a touchdown. Derrick Henry, 169 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. And Josh Allen by his damn self said, here, I'm going to grab both of your stats, both of your games, hold my beer. I'm going to take both of your stats, both of your games combined, and I'm going to put it on my back, and I'm going to double it. My man went ham in a matter of 3 minutes. Josh Allen is a freaking stud. That team, you have some nice moments. He rushed for 30 yards, 2 touchdowns. They didn't have a great game completion-wise, but still had 394 freaking yards overall. Didn't turn the ball over. Look, Keon Coleman, great game. 8 receptions, 112 yards, a touchdown. Dalton Kincaid, 4 for 48. It was just unbelievable. They dropped 22 freaking points like that. That's insane. In the fourth quarter. It was a game that was completely over. Zay Flowers, the best game probably as a pro. 143 receiving yards for the Ravens and a touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins with a 1-banger catch in the end zone for a touchdown. But again, it was Josh Allen saying, yo, hold my beer. Let me put on my cape. I'm about to take this over and double down. And double down, this dude did. He absolutely did. Josh Allen is one of those quarterbacks, dude, just like Lamar Jackson, to be their top 2 when it comes to production and excitement and how they do it. And it's just unreal. You take Josh Allen out of the mix, bro. There's nothing. At least the Ravens got some talent around him. They talk around Lamar. They got really not a lot around Josh Allen. But he is one of those guys that just takes over games. I'm telling you, man. He's a stud. He is one of those guys that's starting, he's one of those GOATs, man. And with that being said, Josh Allen is our GOAT of the week. Actually, let's throw Lamar and Derrick Henry in there.
Greatest of all time. Greatest of all time. Don't cross that line. Go.
It is what it is, baby. The man is a stud. Shout out to the Buffalo Bills. Every year you think they're going to slip up, man, but it's all Josh Allen. He just keeps bringing his team back and back and back for more. And, of course, we're going to end the game this week. NFL Week 1 up on the books. Don't miss tonight's game. That's why, since I don't have to do it with cricket, is no longer doing it. He'll be back for some guest appearance. You know, he had his own network going on, so a shout out to cricket and much respect to him and wish him the best of luck. But, you know, he's busy with his own stuff. And check out his channel, of course, in Rumble. He does some great stuff, betting content and overall, man. So, but I'm going to be doing this show, and I'm probably going to be coming on earlier on Mondays. Sometimes not, sometimes yeah. But I'm trying to see if I can get in by 6, 7 instead of 8 o'clock, because I want to kind of be in before the game starts. So like that, I don't have to interfere with the game. But I am definitely consistently coming back every Monday to recap and give you my best takes of every NFL week. But it's not over yet, because we still have our Unsquirt the best bets, early best bets of the week.
Say it with me one time, Jerry. Show me the money! Jerry, you better yell! Show me the money!
Here we go. And my Unsquirt the best bets of the week, early best bets of the week, it's going to be 2 college picks. Because it's too early for the NFL. And I am on Arizona. Oh, wait a minute. Arizona versus Kansas State. Oh man, let me edit this. My bad. Let me edit this, boys and girls. There you go. There you go. Much better. So we got Arizona versus Kansas State. I'll take the spread on Arizona -1. And my other early pick of the week, and get these now because the spreads are real low. It's Kansas State. It's Clemson -3.5 versus Georgia Tech. Grab them while it's hot, bro. Grab them while they're hot. Let me see if I can make this prettier. Hold on a second. I got to work with this editing here. There you go. Hold on, let me see if I can make this better. There you go. So we got Arizona -1 versus Kansas. And then Clemson -3.5 versus Georgia Tech. Let's make that cash. And of course, every week we're going to go ahead and give you new picks, but also for pure transparency to keep the measuring of how good or how bad I do this season. So it's going to be this week is there are 2. I'm going to give you 2 early picks every Monday before the next week, whether it's going to be college or NFL. You got to get 2 new picks. And all right, so that's all I got. I appreciate you all, man. I gave you my takes on every game this past week. GOAT and loser of the week also in the house. And my 2 early best bets of the week. Arizona -1 and Clemson -3.5. With that being said, we appreciate you all. Thank you for watching. This is your boy E-Man from the Average Joe Sports Talk Podcast signing out, yo.